Here we go. Lovely ladies. This is the biggest audience I have had. Awesome. Okay. Oh, my back. Oh, have you ever just woke up and just been in so much pain? Aches and pains are inevitable as we age. There's nothing we really can do about it. Can we stop the process of aging? No. But can we slow it down? Well, let's see. So as we get older, our bodies start to move a little bit slower. Our minds get a little foggy. And our skin starts to sag and go a little south, and I don't mean for the winter. So if there was something you could do to slow this process down, would you? Absolutely. You can call your doctor and get a prescription for most anything. You can go to your local drugstore and get a cream for most anything. But what if you could just walk outside and do the same thing? So what I'm talking about is exercise. As I've entered my middle years, I noticed things started slowing down. The mind is definitely getting a little foggy when you can't remember where you park at Walmart and have to find your kids or your husband. And my skin just isn't the same. So I decided to do something about it. I did a lot of research, but I'm not real motivated, so I actually hired a personal trainer and a nutritionist. And I've learned a lot about weightlifting, cardio, HIIT, which is high intensity interval training, and clean eating. And over the last year, I've personally engaged in these programs, and I have noticed such a huge difference in my own life. So I wanted to share that with you today. As I mentioned, as we get older, our bodies start to slow down and they start to ache and pain. And after the age of 40, that's due to muscle loss. After 40, we lose muscle at 1% a year. And as we approach the age of 60, it's 1.5%, according to an article written by Beth Ornstein. And as we reach 70, it increases to 3%. So those years add up, and that's a lot of muscle mass. And why that is important is because our muscle mass is what provides us with strength. And if we're losing our strength, then we're prone to injury. And as we get older, injuries aren't the same as they were when we were younger, and actually can cause us some great damage and some heartache. So it's really important to maintain our muscle mass, and that's not through just a pill. It's through clean eating and exercise. It doesn't matter if you walk out your front door and go for a walk. If you can't make it to your mailbox, go halfway. Get out and take a run. If you don't run, start. If you don't want to start, go back to walking. High interval intensity training, raise your heart rate for short periods of time and drop. It's the easiest thing if you're not really into cardio. Weightlifting. Weightlifting is super important, and it's not what it used to be or what people used to think it is. You're not going to bulk up. You're not going to look like a man, and men, you're going to look like men. But it's really important to go in and lift some weights and keep that muscle mass going. And clean eating, like I said, is really important. Nutrition plays a huge factor in our health and our muscles. Clean eating is simple. If you can pronounce it, it's probably clean. If it says phosphorus, nitrate something, yeah, not so clean. So fruits, vegetables, lean meats, salads, amazing for you. So that's one thing with your muscle mass to prevent the loss of that as we get older. Again, very important. Next, our skin. Who would have thought that exercise would help improve our skin? It does. A study done by American Psychiatric Association, if you go on, read the effects of exercise, talks about several things with that. We lose elasticity, and that's what causes sagging and wrinkling. But through exercise and clean eating, we can slow that process down. The other thing with exercise, it thickens our dermis layer of our skin. By thickening the dermis layer, our skin's not going to be as thin. So I don't know, your grandmother, the thin skin, mine always had bruises and tears on her skin, and that's because the skin is thinning. But through exercise and clean eating, it improves that dermis layer and becomes thicker. So we're protecting our skin. So it's not just about looking good. It's again about our health and feeling good and preventing injury. And lastly, mental health. Mental health is one of the most important things we need to hang on to as we age. So once again, through exercise, there are several different things that help with mental health. And again, American Psychiatric Association says that not only reducing stress and anxiety, when you exercise, you're releasing endorphins, and those endorphins are your happy chemicals in your brain, and that releases the stress and anxiety we have on everyday life, which also, as we get older, we're prone to depression and anxiety. We don't have our kids around, we're not active, we may have retired, so we get bored, we get depressed. But if we're exercising and releasing those endorphins, we're not so prone to that. So that's really important. for mental health also, your cognitive ability, to maintain that cognitive ability, and your memory loss. So exercise actually creates new brain cells. I didn't know that. Called neurogenesis. So why wouldn't we be out there creating new brain cells? The onset of Alzheimer's is prevalent as we get older, and dementia. And exercise is not going to prevent that. I don't want to say that. But it will slow the process down by creating those new brain cells and exercising your brains. You can go on to Lumosity.com and you can do crossword puzzles, and those are all fabulous, eating blueberries. But exercise, again, stimulating that oxygen, getting those brain cells going. So I mentioned several things in here. I wanted to go back and do the skin test. It's a pinch test. So I have a little bit of a handout you guys can share. Quick, it just talks about, it tells you the seconds. So this just shows about exercise, and since you guys are all pretty active today, this may not apply to you, but if you take the back of your hand, go ahead and pitch it and hold for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let go, and see how quickly the skin snaps back or doesn't snap back. And that kind of gives you a good idea of where your age is at for your skin and your skin health and taking care of that. And that's on Cafe Mom. So, anyway, so it's really important for me to promote health and wellness, exercise, not only for our muscle mass, our hearts, our skin, but also for our mental health. And the reason why this is important to me is as we age, I don't want to be prone to injury, and I don't want my family to have to take care of me. I want to be able to take care of myself. So exercise is not only good for your health, but it's the most selfless act you could probably give to your children and your family by being able to take care of yourself for longer periods of time. They don't have to worry about you. You're not the grandma with the broken hip. You're the grandma out there hiking with their grandkids and doing things with them. So instead of just even thinking about it for you, think about it for your family. So I think I'm going to trade in this bathrobe, get on my running shoes, and I'm going to go get healthy. So thank you.